In 1984, Metallica released their album, Ride the Lightning. And my friend Patrick and I are going to talk about it on this episode of Records with Ray. First song I heard from Metallica was the song Ride the Lightning. I lived in Pennsylvania, like literally in the middle of nowhere. And there was a college radio station that I was able to get. It was literally like an hour away or something like that. And they had this thing called the Heavy Metal Import Hour, which was on every Sunday night. And then they would play what I called underground metal. Yeah, that was the stuff that, when it came to metal in the early 80s, for me, it was what you could find on MTV. So it was like Priest, Maiden, Accept, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I remember slowly knowing and finding out about these bands like Slayer, Metallica, Exodus, and stuff like that. And this record station would have this metal show, and they would play that stuff. And I remember seeing Ride the Lightning. I remember seeing that album, with the electric chair, I guess, floating in the sky.
Right.
And I remember looking in the back, and you see them playing the Flying V's and all that. And I remember oh my God, I wonder what this sounds like. I want to hear this. But it was the 80s. It was before. Well, if you wanted to hear it, you had to buy it. But I was a child. I was a teenager. I couldn't afford to throw down. I mean, I remember an album was like $9. You'd listen to all the songs on the radio, and you'd be sitting there, and I remember I think I'd have like a pencil and paper and be like, okay, what was the first song? What's the second song?
Right.
And then Ride the Lightning. And I remember I was lucky because it was like, okay, the next song coming up, Metallica's Ride the Lightning. And that riff, man. It's not fast. Fight Fire with Fire is the fast song.
Right.
And that's a very, very powerful song.
That's a killer song.
It's a killer song, but I think even though Ride the Lightning isn't a fast song, it does go fast in the middle.
Yeah.
That riff is so powerful. And how that album is produced. The guitars are just so shredding. How did you discover Ride the Lightning?
Well, it was at a concert. My
Okay.
first concert, and hearing Creeping Death for the first time, and the dun 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 dun.
Seeing Metallica,
seeing him live the first time, and hearing Creeping Death, and just being blown away. With the dun 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 dun, just the sheer power of it, just hitting you right in the face, and then the die, right in the middle was just like, whoa, so heavy.
Die, and you're like
so chanting, and it was like you said, a religious experience.
So when they were chanting "die, die, die" over and over again, you're like,
whoa,
this song's speaking to me,
right? So hearing that, and then especially at the end when both Kirk and James are coming together, the harmonies at the end coming together, then James pulls off, and the dun 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 dun, just him pulling off and doing power chords. I was like, Jesus Christ, that's so crazy powerful. And then on the other side, hearing the dynamics of the slower song and the Fade to Black was the second one that I was like, wow, the range of musicians that they are going towards that. And I remember hearing the first part of that, and then it going into the dun 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 dun, and the power of moving into that. It's just so dynamic, putting it next to something that's so slow. And then going into the fast part, the no one but me. It was just unbelievable stuff. And you're thinking 1984? I didn't even know it at the time.
I have a theory on why Metallica went on to become as big as they did. And it started with Ride the Lightning. I don't want to say that they had a formula, but that's the word I'm going to go with. Let's take the first side. Okay. Fight Fire with Fire. Start off with a fast song, right?
Mm-hmm.
That gets the thrash fans going.
Right.
That sets the tone. Second song, Ride the Lightning. Not fast, but still aggressive. Still moving.
Up tempo, yes. Yeah.
For Whom the Bell Tolls. Slow. Heavy.
Melodic.
Yep. Fade to Black. for lack of a better term, a Metallica ballad or a version of what it would be. The idea is like you'd have this mellow, and then it would kick in and get heavy and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. Then they released Master of Puppets, Battery, fast blazer song, thrash,
yeah.
Master of Puppets, not fast, but still driving. The thing that should not be,
heavy,
slow and heavy, Sanitarium, your ballad.
Same order.
And Justice for All. And Justice for All starts Blackened, fast song. And Justice for All, more mid-paced. And then there's
Eye of the Beholder.
Eye of the Beholder.
And then One. Same formula.
It's the same formula. And here's the thing. They're writing all these different types of songs. And all those songs that they're writing are great. They're great musicianships. I mean, they can write a fast song, they can write a slow song, they could write one of their, as I said, for lack of a better term, like a ballad. So say you take someone like me, like I'm a speed freak. So I'm like, fuck yeah, give me Fight Fire with Fire, give me Battery, give me Blackened, And then maybe there's someone else that's like, no, I like the heavy shit. I like For Whom the Bell Tolls. I like The Thing That Should Not Be.
Right.
Maybe there's someone else that's sort of like, well,
shortest straw.
Yeah. So they're able to write all these different types of songs that a lot of different people can appreciate. And I really feel that it started with that on Ride the Lightning. What's your favorite song on Ride the Lightning?
I'd go with Creeping Death.
Creeping Death.
Creeping Death. Just hit you in the face right away with it.
Yeah.
It's, man, to this day, I mean, it's a top 5 for me of Metallica songs.
That riffing. That, okay, not getting technical, but like a lot of thrash songs, it's usually tremolopic and like this. Right. But Metallica's James Hetfield is like the master of like down picking.
Right.
But the main riff for like Creeping Death is this really aggressive like. It's just like this level of intensity that they bring.
Yeah, it's more Maiden-esque.
Kind of.
The beginning of it is a little bit of a Maiden riff copy. Sort of.
Yeah.
If you listen to some older Maiden stuff, you could find that out.
I'll be honest with you, Patrick. When I got into like bands like Metallica, it kind of made bands like Iron Maiden obsolete for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so much more aggressive.
Yeah.
Really aggressive. I mean, another one of my favorite songs on the album is Trapped Under Ice.
It's a great song. Not played very much and probably not liked by everybody because it's just kind of in the middle, just sitting there.
It's a great song. But
it's got some great stuff. It's good. And then the middle part is insane.
Yeah.
Crazy.
There was a point in time I remember where Call of Cthulhu, how do you say it?
Cthulhu, yeah.
That was like my jam for a while because it was like this slow atmospheric song. I remember being in high school on the bus, just like.
You listen closely. The whole thing's a bass solo. So the whole thing is a Cliff Burton bass solo. What's really cool nowadays is you got Rob who will play it, and Rob can play it pretty close. I mean, you could probably close your eyes and it'd probably be pretty close to listening to Cliff Burton.
Wow,
which is pretty cool. They play it live every once in a while, and then they got the Escape, song number 6, which was whatever they call their attempt at trying to be a little more commercial. And
I have a buddy that loves that song.
Yeah, it's
and he's like, I love that song, Escape. I'm like, all right, okay, sure.
They played the whole album, I don't know, a couple of years ago on tour or whatever, and I think even James been a big proponent of not playing it because he just doesn't like it. It was an attempt to be more commercial or whatever it is, and he played it, and I think I saw a recording of it in Europe maybe or something, and he was just like, he has struggles playing it because it just doesn't sound right. It's not the greatest song on the album, for me at least. From
what I heard, some of the riffing and some of the songs off Ride the Lightning was Dave Mustaine.
Yeah,
isn't like a lot of
the main riff you talk about with Ride the Lightning, I believe, is his. That damn. That's his. Most of the song is his. I think so. Call of Cthulhu. I think that's a lot of his as well. You can kind of pick apart if you know Dave Mustaine. You kind of know his riffing.
Oh yeah,
you can look at Fight Fire with Fire, and you know that's a James Hetfield type of thing.
Yeah, that's a definitely more in your face, simpler kind of riff to play. But like,
David Mustaine. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a great album. I mean, it's one that I still listen to all the time. I mean, it's a nice one to jam out to. It's a great thrash metal album.
Yeah.
And still that creeping death, man. Fun to play on guitar, fun to listen to,
Fun to sing along.
And it's.
Have you ever brought your son to a Metallica concert?
I have. First one last year in Seattle here.
So what's going on when Creeping Death is coming on? You're like, die, come on! You're like holding your kid's hand off. You're like, die!
Well,
your son's like, my dad's insane.
It was a great one because we got part of this Metallica club thing for, 28 years now.
Yeah.
And we finally, there's a little contest thing you can win. And you sign up for snake pit tickets, and we finally got them after, 27 years of trying. So for his first show, we got right in the pit, which is really great. So James played the song. And
if like you're taking your son to go see Metallica, it had the exact opposite effect. And he's like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna listen to Kenny G.